现在好一点。
Southern China recently endured an extreme flooding event following the passage of a powerful typhoon. The impact has been profound and widespread, affecting millions of residents across several provinces. Entire neighborhoods were submerged, vital infrastructure was compromised, and the emergency response system has been stretched to its limits. Rainfall in affected regions was extraordinary, with some areas recording over 300 millimeters in a single day. Such intense precipitation overwhelmed existing drainage networks and natural waterways, triggering rapid rises in river levels. Rivers including the Bei River, Xi River, and Yangjiang River breached their banks, flooding towns, agricultural lands, and transportation corridors. The crisis extended well beyond river flooding. Emergency dam discharges at key reservoirs like Shuiku and Julong River in Fujian Province and Feilaixia in Guangdong, while necessary to prevent dam failure, further exacerbated downstream flooding. These releases serve as a stark example of the difficult decisions water management authorities face during extreme weather, balancing reservoir integrity with the safety of downstream populations. Urban centers also suffered extensive damage. Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Fuzhou experienced unprecedented urban flooding, revealing vulnerabilities in drainage infrastructure despite significant investments in flood control over recent decades. Floodwaters inundated streets, disrupted public transportation, and forced temporary closures of metro stations. Ground-level businesses bore the brunt, facing destroyed inventory and electrical damage that will require significant time and resources to repair. The human toll extended into rural and mountainous areas where the saturated soils led to devastating landslides. These geophysical events severed access to remote villages, destroyed homes, and caused widespread damage to power and communication networks. Clearing these obstructions and restoring connectivity remains a top priority for emergency teams working under difficult conditions. In response to this multifaceted disaster, government agencies rapidly mobilized resources. Soldiers, engineers, and rescue personnel were dispatched to hardest-hit zones, while temporary shelters in schools and community centers provided refuge for displaced families. Relief efforts have included the distribution of food, water, and medical supplies to ensure basic needs are met during this critical period. While immediate rescue and relief efforts continue, the region faces ongoing risks. The Ministry of Water Resources maintains flood warnings, cautioning that river levels remain dangerously high and that secondary disasters, such as additional flooding and landslides, are possible. Compounding this is the fact that meteorologists are closely monitoring at least two tropical disturbances over the Pacific Ocean, with potential to develop into full typhoons in the near future. The possibility of a subsequent storm landfall raises concerns about a prolonged emergency scenario. This disaster exposes the complex vulnerabilities in a region that has undergone rapid urbanization and economic growth. Provinces like Guangdong, Guangxi, and Fujian are home to dense populations, industrial centers, and critical transport hubs. Despite infrastructure improvements, these areas remain susceptible to extreme weather events intensified by shifting climate patterns. The emergency dam discharges underline a fundamental challenge in flood management. Reservoirs designed for water storage and hydroelectric power must be protected from failure, yet releasing water inevitably shifts the flood burden downstream. This presents difficult trade-offs between safeguarding critical infrastructure and minimizing damage to communities along riverbanks.
看大姐，我这边都淹了，你看别人都过不去了。
Additionally, the landslide events highlight the need for enhanced monitoring and early warning systems in mountainous and rural zones. Many affected villages rely on limited road access and fragile power grids, making them particularly vulnerable during prolonged storms. Investments in slope stabilization, reforestation, and community education on disaster preparedness could mitigate future risks. Urban flooding further emphasizes the importance of integrated water management in fast-growing cities. Increasing impermeable surfaces and expanding populations increase runoff, stressing drainage systems. Future urban planning must incorporate resilient design principles. Such as green infrastructure, flood zoning, and upgraded stormwater management facilities to reduce exposure to flood hazards. Economically, the disruption is significant. Damaged businesses, transportation delays, and loss of agricultural production will impact regional economies for months. Reconstruction will require substantial investment and coordinated planning to build back more resilient communities.